everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a full upper body workout, mainly based on our shoulders as well as our chest, and then we're also hitting a little bit of biceps and calisthenic progressions for my planche. Honestly though, you're gonna see with the video, planche work did not go as well as planned today, but that's fine. Another thing I wanted to show today as well was like one of my favorite go-to snacks that I'm eating right now. I literally have been eating this for like lunch, dinner, and like snack pretty much every day. It's so good. So basically it's like a burrito slash taco salad, but I'm doing rice right now because I have a little bit extra carb, but it's going to be a protein, which is shrimp today, and then it's tomatoes, cucumbers, corn, cilantro, avocado, shredded cheese, and then lemon or lime. I'm really excited for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions at all, just put them below. I'm gonna kind of do what I did last time where I would go through and explain the exercises and kind of go through a little bit more technique. And then of course, if you guys are looking for more detailed programs, definitely check out my app or check out my other YouTube videos or check out my Skill Drill Saturday. I know there's tons of questions on my Instagram when it comes to teaching things. I have a vast variety of platforms for you guys to check it all out on. So make sure just to check those out. I'll put the links all below in this video. But for now, let's make our dinner because I'm starving. So I'm gonna start off with just de-shelling my shrimp. Honestly, don't know how much this is, but I'm just gonna take it all out. And I apologize for people who don't like seeing raw meat on screen. I'll try to make this fast. And then because I'm lazy, I use a little quick chop because LOL, I just don't really want to chop my food, you know what I mean? It just takes up a lot of time. So now I'm gonna measure everything out just because I'm tracking my macros, so I gotta make sure everything's on point. So it's going to be 150 grams of just jasmine rice. I like jasmine rice more than basmati rice, only because it's a little bit fluffier. And I get really sick of basmati. I find it tastes like soap after a while. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but that is how I feel. So I didn't measure out any of the cucumber, tomato, corn, or green onion or anything like that, just because it's not that important. It's so minimal, but I did measure out the 15 grams of cheese. I'm gonna put a little bit of salsa on here. Usually I would have avocado, but my avocado, as you guys could tell when I was prepping, was not ready. So we couldn't use any avocado. And then for shrimp, I'm allowed to have 120 grams of shrimp, which is actually, again, a lot of shrimp. Here we go. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna bring you guys closer. So we have my salsa, my like nice like salad mix with my shrimp, and then my rice, and then that's it. And that is my go-to meal. Starting out this workout with a quick little warm-up. Anywhere between 8 to 10 minutes is typically my warm-up. It is a combination of both static and dynamic stretches, and for upper body today, we're making sure to hit our shoulders, lats, and chest just to make sure everything is activated and also ready to go for the workout. First up, we have my favorite exercise, which is going to be shoulder press. We started here at 30 pounds for 15 reps, 35 to 10 to 12, and then went up to 40 for 8 to 10. On my last set, we did do a drop set, so that is dropping the weight and increasing the reps. So we did as many as we could at 25 pounds. In terms of technique for the shoulder press, major things that we want to make sure we're paying attention to is contact with the floor with our feet as well as our body and the bench. So making sure there's always contact with the glutes, the shoulders, and the head. No matter how heavy that weight feels, we do want to have full contact. In regards to the arms and their movement, we do want to make sure they are starting just slightly below 90 degrees and then pressing up straight overhead. Major things that I commonly see as a trainer is that a lot of people cut the motion short and don't go right below the 90 degrees. They often go slightly above, as well as they clang the weights together at the top. So super important that we pay attention to range of motion as well as overall control of the movement during your shoulder press. Next up, we have our first superset, which is going to be an incline dumbbell chest press paired with incline push-ups. So in terms of form for this incline chest press, it's going to be very similar to the shoulder press. We want to make sure there's full contact with the feet as well as the bum, shoulders, and head on that bench. So just remember those 4 things: feet, glutes, shoulders, and head. When it comes to pushing up the dumbbells, again, making sure it's nice and slow and controlled and full range of motion is achieved. When it comes to the incline push-ups, we are going to have our hands just placed on the bench. Bench will be flat, and just making sure that our shoulders and our hands are aligned underneath each other and that our elbows are just slightly flared out to avoid any pinching when it comes to the push-up. Most important important thing, because it is an incline push-up, we do want to make sure full range of motion is happening here. That's going to be the best for our conditioning. I typically like to do these for around 15 reps. And then in terms of that chest press, it was closer to 8 to 10 reps because, not going to lie, that 40 pounds felt heavy after that shoulder press. We have our second superset up next, which is going to be cable chest flies. LOL, you can see the weight was a little bit too heavy there. Superset it with our push-ups. So for chest flies, I do like to keep it a little bit lighter. This is strictly because I get a little bit of a bitter squeeze. So as my arms come in right here, we're gonna be focusing on, like, pretend you have a lemon between your armpit and you're trying to squeeze out that juice so you get a lot of activation through that chest. The reason why I like to do chest flies first is that it fatigues me before I go into my push-ups. My push-ups are gonna be more tricep push-ups, and they are gonna be pulses, so we're only going to be going from the floor to about halfway for 15 to 20 reps. Now, depending on how fatigued you are, there is no shame in dropping to our knees. I know I definitely did during this superset because I got very tired and my chest was feeling it. So cable flies were anywhere between 12 to 15, and then my push-ups were 15 to 20, dropping to my knees if needed. We have a single exercise, which is going to be one of my favorites, landmine press. I'm going to basically say that push day is my favorite in general, so all these exercises I'm doing, I absolutely love. So for landmine press, really simple here, just starting at our chest and pushing the weight all the way up. You will see there is a slight sway in my body. That is totally fine. Major things to pay attention to is a tight core and then making sure those arms get full extension. One thing you can do is if the weight gets super heavy and you want to just crush out those last 2 to 3 reps, you can do a slight knee bend and press that weight up. I stayed strict all the way through my workout, but if I was going heavier than the 35 pounds I had loaded on, you would see a slight little knee bend to come and push that weight all the way up. Shoulder exercise of the workout is going to be our lateral raises, which in my opinion is a very tricky exercise to perform properly. So here are some key tips in order to help you with your lateral raise. First, before you even start the workout, you want to make sure that your shoulders are pressed down as far away from your ears as possible, and that we're taking your arms and bringing them all the way out to the side. There is a slight elbow bend, and you never want your hands above the elbow or the shoulders, always slightly pointing down as if you were pouring a glass of water. That is a cue someone told me years ago and has always helped me during my lateral raises. Something else that I find very helpful and that I allow all my clients to do is just take a short little break as soon as you feel your traps kicking in too much. Allow yourself to reset your posture and then continue on the set. There is absolutely no point in performing lateral raises if you're going to be doing them wrong, because then we just end up with massive traps, and that is not the goal here. The goal is to activate those lateral delts. Last, for the weighted section, we do have our seated bicep curls. So major things here, especially with seated. One, I find seated is way harder to cheat on, which is why I like doing them. There is no swing or momentum helping those curls to come up. It is just your biceps. So for here, major thing is at the very top of the rep, you want to focus on squeezing, and at the very bottom of the rep, making sure there is full range of motion. We are doing 2 types of bicep curls here, so just upright with a hammer curl, and then we lean forward in order to get a better range of motion, and then just doing our typical bicep curls with our palms facing forward. I don't do super heavy on bicep curls because strictly if I can get a better muscle-mind connection with a lighter weight, that's what I'm going to go for. That tends to be my go-to for every single exercise. I would much rather be able to feel the squeeze, feel the pump, and be able to have a controlled movement than just trying to chuck up some heavy 30-pound dumbbells. We want to make sure it's nice and controlled. Time to get into the calisthenics portion, and I'm telling you, basically the struggle of putting this band on this bar was basically how my calisthenics training went this day. But let's get into it. It is going to be planche training. Up first, we had tuck planche push-ups. So these are in a tuck position, and I'm using a purple band, which made them feel relatively easy. I could be moving down to a black or red band. Major thing here is maintaining protraction and full lockout and making sure we're leaning over those hands. Next, we played around with some single leg tuck planche holds, and they were not spectacular, and we probably did around 3 to 5 attempts of these until we moved on to some core. So because planche work is so hard on the hands because it's such a leaning forward movement, I do like to incorporate some core work in between just to give myself a little bit of time off my hands. And then again, just some good strengthening for the core to help with a lot more of my calisthenic movements. Moving on, we did try to do some straddle planche work today, and it didn't go as best as it could have. I've definitely had better days. We were struggling here with maintaining protraction and getting proper core engagement. I really do think this was just from fatigue, as well as now reviewing these videos. My hands are more turned out than normal. Typically I like them on a 45 degree, and then my lean is just not as strong as it typically is. So In regards to progression here, I could definitely go up to a green band and that would help. My glutes and my legs were just really weighing me down today. But nonetheless, we did try to do straddle planche push-ups, which are coming up next. These straddle planche push-ups were definitely a work in progress today. They weren't feeling the best, but no matter what, we try anyways. So major key points to look at here is there is a missing full lockout, as well as my protraction isn't the best and my feet are hanging a little bit low. In terms of overall coming off the ground in one piece, that was successful, so I will take that small win. We did end up modifying this to more of a frog position. You could also modify by using a stronger band, something like a green one, because obviously here we were struggling. So in terms of the froggy position, you can tell that I'm getting full lockout, and again, my body is moving in one single movement. We never want to have it just like disjointed or anything like that. So making sure to really squeeze those glutes, squeeze the feet together, have the elbows slightly pinched into your body. That's going to help, especially as a beginner. And then making sure that you're leaning far over your hands and getting a full lockout at the top of the rep. They're hard, but they're worth it, and one day these will be unassisted. Finishing off the workout, your girl was spinning on that bike. Not that fast because I do have this sped up by 200%. So do realize I was not booking it this hard. But we did finish off with around 15 minutes on the bike. This is what I've been doing recently. It's either the bike or the Stairmaster. I'm not a treadmill girl, but cardio is usually 15 minutes at least 3 to 4 times a week. So that is it for today's video. If you guys try my little burrito salad bowl thing, let me know, because I honestly am like loving it. I'm eating it all the time right now. It'll be super fun to see you guys eating it as well. It's a really like easy thing to make, and honestly, if you just take out the rice, it becomes a lot lighter of a meal as well. This is actually pretty filling because I messed up my macros today a little bit and I got distracted with work and forgot to eat. So this is like a really big meal for me. And then for the workout, if you guys try the workout, let me know. I'm super excited. Again, this is kind of just like my training style right now. I will be shifting once I come back from LA into a full like lower body is just strictly strength and functional training, stuff like that. And then upper body days will be all calisthenic days, which I'm really excited for because I've got a lot of calisthenic goals as well as a competition coming up at the end of July. So I'm going to document that as well. So that way you guys can see me prepping for it and get really excited with me because it'll be in New York City. So if you're from New York, I'm going to be there from July 29th to 31st. So hit me up. I'm probably going to host a workshop. So stay tuned. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I will see you guys next time. Go have a delicious meal and have a great workout.